Research is hard, but your tools should not be. Subthesis.com is the free alternative to expensive software. Whether you need to calculate Cronbach's alpha or organize your field notes, Subthesis has a tool for it. No paywalls and no registration required. Check the link in the description and let's dive into today's lesson. Welcome back to the PM Playbook. Earned Value Management, or EVM, has a reputation for being complex and mathematical. Today I'm going to explain it in plain English. By the end you'll understand what EVM measures, why it matters, and how to use it on your projects. Here's the problem Earned Value solves. If I tell you the project is 50% complete, you might think things are going well. But what if we've spent 75% of the budget? That's a problem. What if we're supposed to be 70% complete by now? That's also a problem. Percent complete alone doesn't tell the whole story. Being on budget doesn't mean you're getting value for the money. EVM integrates scope, schedule, and cost into a single framework that objectively measures project health. Earned value answers three fundamental questions. What was planned to be done by now? What was actually accomplished by now? And what did it cost to accomplish that work? By comparing these three values, you can determine whether you're ahead or behind schedule, whether you're over or under budget, and whether you're getting good value for your investment. Let's look at how we measure each of these. Earned value has three core metrics. Once you understand these, everything else follows. Let me explain each one in plain language. Planned value, or PV, is the value of work that was planned to be done by now. It comes from your schedule and budget. If your project is 10 weeks and costs $100,000 and you're at week 5, your planned value might be $50,000, assuming work is distributed evenly. PV answers the question, what should we have accomplished? It's also called the budgeted cost of work scheduled, or BCWS in older terminology. Earned value, or EV, is the value of work actually completed. It's based on real progress against the plan. If a task was budgeted at $10,000 and it's 50% complete, you've earned $5,000 of value. EV answers the question, what did we actually accomplish? It's measured in terms of the original budget, not actual costs. That's why it's also called budgeted cost of work performed, or BCWP. The value is what you earned by completing the work. Actual cost, or AC, is what was actually spent to accomplish the work. This is real money or real hours consumed. If you completed that $10,000 task but spent $12,000 doing it, your actual cost is $12,000. AC answers the question, what did it cost to do what we did? It's also called actual cost of work performed, or ACWP. This is the real world, not the plan. Now we have our three metrics. Planned value tells you what should have happened by now according to the plan. Earned value tells you what actually happened, what work was completed. Actual cost tells you what you spent to complete that work. By comparing these three numbers, we can calculate whether we're ahead or behind schedule and whether we're over or under budget. Let's look at those comparisons. From the three core metrics, we derive variances and indices. Variances tell you how much you're off. Indices tell you efficiency. Both are useful for different purposes. Schedule variance compares earned value to planned value. The formula is SV equals EV minus PV. If your earned value is greater than planned value, SV is positive. You're ahead of schedule. You've accomplished more than planned. If earned value is less than planned value, SV is negative. You're behind schedule. You've accomplished less than planned. If they're equal, SV is 0 and you're exactly on schedule. Note that SV is measured in dollars or value units, not time. It tells you how much value you're ahead or behind. Cost variance compares earned value to actual cost. The formula is CV equals EV minus AC. If your earned value exceeds actual cost, CV is positive. You're under budget. You got more value than you paid for. If actual cost exceeds earned value, CV is negative. You're over budget. You paid more than the value you received. If they're equal, CV is 0 and you're exactly on budget. Cost variance directly answers, are we getting good value for our money? The Schedule Performance Index expresses schedule performance as a ratio. SPI equals EV divided by PV, and SPI greater than 1 means you're ahead of schedule. You've earned more value than planned. An SPI less than 1 means you're behind schedule. An SPI of 0.8 means you've accomplished 80% of what was planned. You're 20% behind. The index is useful because it's easy to interpret. An SPI of 0.9 is 90% efficient. An SPI of 1.1 is 110% efficient. The Cost Performance Index expresses cost efficiency as a ratio. CPI equals EV divided by AC. A CPI greater than 1 means you're under budget. You're getting more value than you're spending. A CPI less than 1 means you're over budget. A CPI of 0.9 means you're getting only 90 cents of value for every dollar spent. CPI is particularly useful for forecasting. Historical CPI tends to be a good predictor of future cost performance. If you're at CPI of 0.9 now, you'll likely stay around 0.9 unless you make significant changes. Here's a quick interpretation guide. SPI greater than 1 and CPI greater than 1 is the best case. You're ahead of schedule and under budget. SPI less than 1 and CPI less than 1 is the worst case. You're behind schedule and over budget. Mixed results, where 1 is good and 1 is bad, need investigation. Maybe you're rushing and spending extra to catch up, or maybe you're going slow to save money. Trends matter more than single data points. 1 bad month might be an anomaly. 3 bad months in a row is a pattern. One of the most valuable uses of earned value is forecasting. Based on current performance, we can predict where the project will end up. Budget at completion, or BAC, is the total planned budget for the entire project. This is what you expect to spend if everything goes according to plan. BAC is your baseline for comparison. It's the denominator in many earned value calculations. If your project was budgeted at $500,000, that's your BAC. This number comes from your project plan and doesn't change unless the baseline is formally revised. Estimate at completion, or EAC, forecasts the total cost when the project is finished. The simplest formula is EAC equals BAC divided by CPI. This assumes current cost efficiency will continue. If your CPI is 0.9, you're 10% over budget, and that inefficiency will persist. If BAC is $500,000 and CPI is 0.9, EAC is about $556,000. You're forecasting to be $56,000 over budget at completion. There are other EAC formulas for different scenarios, but this one is the most commonly used. Variance at completion tells you the predicted final cost variance. VAC equals BAC minus EAC. If your budget was $500,000 and you're now forecasting $556,000, VAC is negative $56,000. You expect to be $56,000 over budget when done. Positive VAC means you'll finish under budget. Negative VAC means over budget. VAC gives stakeholders a clear picture. How much will we be off by the end? This is crucial for financial planning and for deciding whether to take corrective action. The 2 Complete Performance Index tells you what efficiency you need for the remaining work to finish on budget. TCPI equals BAC minus EV, which is remaining work, divided by BAC minus AC, which is remaining budget. If TCPI is greater than 1, you need to be more efficient than you've been to hit your budget. If it's significantly greater than 1, hitting the original budget may be unrealistic. If TCPI is less than 1, you can afford to be less efficient and still finish on budget. TCPI is a reality check on budget targets. Let's talk about how to actually use earned value on your projects. The theory is straightforward. Implementation requires some thought. How do you measure earned value for a task in progress? There are several methods. The 0 or 100 method gives no credit until the task is complete. It's conservative and works well for short tasks. The 50 or 50 method gives 50% credit when work starts and 50% when it's done. Simple and reduces estimation effort. Percent complete bases earned value on assessed progress. A task that's 70% done has earned 70% of its value. More accurate but requires honest assessment. Choose the method appropriate to your task types. Long tasks benefit from percent complete. Short tasks can use 0 or 100. Earned value has practical challenges. Percent complete is often overstated. Tasks are reported as 90% complete for weeks. Be rigorous about what complete actually means. Actual costs may be delayed in accounting systems or misallocated to wrong tasks. Work with finance to get timely, accurate cost data. EVM requires discipline. You need consistent tracking of progress and costs. It's not a one-time analysis, and it works best when work packages are consistently sized. Very small or very large tasks distort the metrics. Earned value is most valuable for projects with clear scope and budget that can be tracked. It shines on longer projects where trends matter and early warning enables correction. Clients and sponsors who want objective metrics, not just subjective status, appreciate EVM data, but it may be overkill for small, fast projects where the overhead of tracking exceeds the benefit. Use judgment. A 2-week project probably doesn't need full EVM. A 2-year program definitely does. Let's practice. Imagine your project has these metrics. Budget at completion is $100,000. Planned value to date is $40,000. Earned value to date is $35,000. Actual cost to date is $42,000. Calculate schedule variance. EV minus PV equals $35,000 minus $40,000 equals negative $5,000. You're behind schedule. Calculate cost variance. EV minus AC equals $35,000 minus $42,000 equals negative $7,000. You're over budget. Calculate SPI. EV divided by PV equals 0.875. You're at 87.5% schedule efficiency. Calculate CPI. EV divided by AC equals 0.833. You're getting only 83 cents of value per dollar. This project is in trouble on both dimensions. Let's summarize. Planned value, earned value, and actual cost are the 3 core metrics. They answer what was planned, what was accomplished, what did it cost. Schedule and cost variance show how much you're off from the plan. SPI and CPI express efficiency as ratios, easier to interpret and compare. Estimate at completion uses current performance to predict where you'll end up. Together, these metrics give you objective insight into project health. We've completed Module 3, Execution and Control. In Module 4, we explore the human side of project management. Lecture 13 tackles managing up, specifically how to handle situations when your sponsor is the problem. Sometimes the biggest challenges aren't technical, they're political. Thank you for working through earned value with me. The formulas might seem like math class, but they provide insights no other technique offers. Use EVM to move beyond I think we're okay to I know exactly where we stand. I'll see you in the next module. Research is hard, but your tools should not be. Subthesis.com is the free alternative to expensive software. Whether you need to calculate Chromebox Alpha or organize your field notes, Subthesis has a tool for it. No paywalls and no registration required. Check the link in the description and let's dive into today's lesson.